Hello students, good morning. I am your educator Dolce and today we are going to do the female reproductive system. As you know what we have done in male reproductive system. The male reproductive system comprises of the primary sex organ, that are the testes, and other accessory ducts and glands, and the external genitalia. Same or similarly same kind of structure, similar kind of structures are found in the female reproductive system. The primary sex organs are the ovaries. So ovaries are the organs which produce the sex cells, that is gametes or the ova. So they are known as the primary sex organ. All other organs are accessory, means they are not involved in formation of gametes but are involved in their maintenance and transfer or the event of fertilization. So those are the oviducts, are also known as the fallopian tubes, which act as a site of fertilization and also a path for the ova to undergo or to ensure the fertilization. Next is the uterus. Uterus is the also known as the mother womb. It is the area where the implantation or development of the fetus or the embryo takes place. Finally, the cervix. Cervix is the region which is quite congested and it ensures the site that makes the baby to survive in the uterus and not to descend into the vagina and earlier parturition via carrying a kind of a cervical plug, that is of a thick mucous tissue. Final one is the vagina. Vagina is the dilated muscular part which ensures the movement of the baby out of the body, that is it is the birth canal, and secondly it also acts as a recipient path for the male reproductive genitalia. Next are the external genitalia. These are the regions which ensures the type of they are similar to the orifice that is found in the male penis. So all these are present in the pelvic region of the female body. There is no special organ like scrotum in the body of the female. Other than these, some other organs are also found in the female body that are the most important of these are the mammary glands. Mammary glands are nothing, they are the derivation of the sweat glands of the human body, and they are related first with the sign of puberty and finally they provide nourishment to the born baby. So they are very important and they undergo significant changes during the period of the pregnancy. So next, what are the ovaries or the primary sex organs? So ovary are the primary female sex organs that produce the gamete, that is known as the ovum, and the primary sex steroids or the steroid hormones known as the estrogen and progesterone. The ovaries are located on the each side of the lower pelvic cavity. Next, ovary is about 2 to 4 centimeter in length and it is surrounded by the epithelium. That epithelium is said to be the germinal epithelium, and the cells of the germinal epithelium are cuboidal in shape, and inside those lined epithelium a kind of tissue is present. That stromal tissue is of two types. It comprises of two zones. First one is the peripheral. Peripheral is usually the cortex region, and the inner one is said to be the medulla. So cortex is outer and medulla is the inner part. As you always know, medulla is always at the center. Next, the second organ, that are the accessory ducts. Those are known as the ovarian ducts, oviducts, or the fallopian tubes. So the fallopian tubes, as you know, here is the ovary. From the ovary, ovas are received by these structures known as the fimbriae. Then fimbriae form a dilated hilum-like structure that is said to be the infundibulum. Infundibulum opens up into a congested area, that is the ampulla, and there is a long tube followed by ampulla that is said to be the isthmus. And infundibulum, ampulla, and the isthmus, all the three parts are part of the fallopian tube. So the fallopian tube is about 10 to 12 centimeter long and it starts from the periphery and reach up to the uterus. So the ovary has a funnel shaped structure that is said to be the infundibulum. Next, edges have finger like projections that are said to be the fimbriae. These are known as the fimbriae. Ultimately, the function of fimbriae is to catch the ovum that are released, or catch the secondary oocyte that is released from the ovary after the 14th day of menstrual cycle, that is the event of ovulation. Followed by infungibulum, a wider structure appears, that is said to be the ampulla, and next the isthmus. So the part of the oviduct that is just next to the infundibulum is known as the ampulla, followed by ampulla. The last part of the oviduct is said to be the isthmus, and the isthmus opens up into a broad pouch-like structure that is said to be the uterus. So uterus is single in a single female, and it is also known as the womb. Usually, if we say externally, the shape of the womb or the uterus is just similar to the fruit pear. So it is the part which finally opens up into the vagina, but before vagina there is a narrow cervix region. It is known as the cervical canal, or along with the it is also known as the birth canal. So after this, the more important point is which is the composition, or which is the structure, what is the structure of the uterus. So usually the uterus wall is formed of 3 layers. The outermost and the thinner layer is said to be the perimetrium. The inner muscular thick layer is said to be the myometrium, and the inner glandular layer is said to be the endometrium. So during the menstrual cycle, the cyclic changes of bleeding and the increase in blood vessel concentration occurs in the endometrium, while during the delivery of the blood, the contraction of the uterus which leads to labor pain are caused by the myometrium. So these are very important. For the birth, myometrium is necessary, and for the menstrual flow, endometrium is necessary. So after this, the external genitalia of the female. As you know, the external genitalia of female comprises of mons pubis. It is a cushion-like tissue that comprises of pubis hair, and here you are just unable to see the skin. It is completely filled with air, pubis hair, and the importance of hair is to keep the temperature constant and protect the body from any kind of pathogenic attack. Next is the labia majora. It is a fleshy tissue that is present just down to the mons pubis. Last one is the labia minora. It is a paired fold of tissue that is present inner to the labia majora. And the opening of vagina, it is covered by a tissue. As you know, the hymen is nothing. It is a kind of tissue that is present, or that is a sign of virginity. Actually, as you know, if some female, her hymen is broken during any kind of accidental break, it is not necessary that it only broke up during the copulation, but as an illiteracy, people consider that the hymen breakdown occurs only during copulation. But it should be known to those persons that these kind of activities like the horse riding, cycling, and any kind of sport can also break this hymen. So it is not always necessary that hymen breakdown is the indicator of virginity. It is a wrong indicator. It is not right. So finally, it is the clitoris. Clitoris is nothing. It is finger-like structure, and it is very necessary. And it is a junction between the labia minora above the urethral opening, and it is necessary for the kind of activation or stimulation during the course of copulation. Finally, most important and the most accessory and the characteristic feature of a female, that is the mammary gland. Mammary glands are not only present in females, they are also present in males, but the growth is quite high, or it is overexpressed in case of females, and its size increase usually during the period of pregnancy due to the thickening of the areolar tissue which stores the milk, and it transfers the milk to the growing fetus in the form of colostrum. So functional mammary gland is characteristic of all female. They are said to be the breast, and they are a kind of tissue, fat tissue. So usually in each glandular tissue, the breast body is divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes, and these are said to be the alveoli. As you know, alveoli are nothing. These are the swelled tissue which secrete the milk, as in lungs. They are for increasing surface area. Here also alveoli are for increasing the surface area. From the alveoli some ducts arise that are said to be the mammary tubules, and ultimately these mammary tubules opens up into the structure that is the mammary duct, and from that the structure is said to be the nipple from where the baby can suck the milk. As you know, the milk production is not as such that at any time of the period milk secretion starts, and nothing like that. During pregnancy some kind of hormonal changes occur in the body of the female that induced the production of the milk in the female. And breastfeeding, I think it is the best contraceptive to avoid a unwanted type of pregnancy. And that's all for today. Thank you.